Well, this just woke up after. Well, not really, but you get the idea. It's morning after. Yep. So current. So let's do free cost. Why did I do two cost and free cost together? Well, if you look at already casting costs, yeah, there's a way too many free costs. There's 102. So I decided, you know what? Let's split it, or else I'll have a bunch of 166 card episode, and I'll probably do the same for 4 and 5. And at that point, I'm probably gonna start doing 6, 7, then 8, 9, 10, and above. I don't know. In final thoughts. We'll see when I get there. So, first one, hashtag ouch. Free mana, summon 4 1 balloons. It should take token, whatever. And yeah, some guy decided to DKO to draw. No, oh yeah, I think I tried to draw round 6 of Chimps Ouch. And yeah, a bit powerful because it's 4/1/1s rather than 3. There's been a bunch of new cards added over time to make those even more powerful. Other than that, it's kinda fine. Huh? 10x of Oreo. For some reason, Oreo joke. The server healed 10 and tried to balance around the fact it was 10. People seem to like it. The 2021 firework. Choose a unit. The dice have started to turn. Sounded cool, but at the start of the game, the life cycle of the game, when there was around 100 and less than 200 cards, because this was at the start, and there wasn't a lot of insta kills. So this was run, but over time more instant kills were added and aka removal, and this card sadly isn't being used. I just feel sad for that card now. 99,999 plus Discord pings, which is just Frost Nova from Hearthstone. It's just there, I guess. Joe being that your inbox is so full that you basically feel frozen. A flight of stairs. Your opponent units cost 2 more next turn. Originally 1 because I felt it was going to be too powerful at 1. 3 meta and to make all your units cost 1 more, meaning you couldn't do 2 cards that cost 5 in 1 turn unless you create extra mana for that. You couldn't play any 8. You couldn't play any 10 costs. Yeah, playing just 3 1 costs would double their. It would go from 3 to 6. But since nobody really used it, once they realized that, hey, this effect isn't that good enough. So I decided to make good. If this is to them, anvil dice is dice and an anvil struck together in the most weird way. Deal 3 damage to a unit, add a cycle of fate, which is, by the way, this thing, you can read it, it's roll 6. Also, I hate that I messed up the look of the die. It looks so bad, it's just, what the this is almost not. It almost breaks geometry. Look at this thing. How does it make any sense? Entering anvil dice, yeah, and you can reroll your next random event because since I'm manually doing it, well, might as well allow people to retry. Just fun. It's playing top, and I think it's supposed to be, yeah, what's an Inception reference for flavor text. A Dawn Crasher, 3 minute free, or joke on Crasher that he constantly streams so late that it's basically dawn. And originally it was it would be the first ever card you play the game. The card would gain Rush, Taunt, Lifelink, which is basically just lifesteal. Yeah, just magic. Can't really remove the keywords. It's without causing too scared to cause damage. And Bubble, which is basically Divine Shield cause because this showed that this is just a rip off, I guess. And yes, it's this card. A lot of effects. You can kill. You do free damage for free without the cost of the Divine Shield, or keep it there. You heal in theory up to 6 self because the first hit doesn't count on this unit. And you have Taunt also, but that's only when just the first card play this match. So I added if you become a new hero, yeah, you can do that. Banana with an Uzi. When played, deal damage equal to the amount of enemy units to an enemy unit. So if there was 4 enemy units, well, this would be if free, deal 4. If it was only 1 unit, well, it's only 1. So, in theory, this could be a good card and to deal with the stuff like some stupid combos that are all about spamming a lot of units. Bargain Bin Wario Hat give a unit plus 4 health if you harness a Long Musk. Yes, Long Musk is a hero in this. We'll see that later. This can increase your maximum health by 4. This is a reference to that one skit where it was in Wario costume, but other than that, that's kind of it. Use ball batting skeleton after the stack, deal 1 damage to another random enemy unit. So you can't do the damn. Obviously, if there's only 1 unit, you can't do the damage. If you do it on a hero, well, damage can do down to 1 unit left if there's 1. Basically, you just baseball bat the guy and the ball hits somebody else. That's a joke. Ben on College Gen. You saw Ben on a Gen earlier. Well, this is more colors, so more mana, but it started off slow. So 3 mana 2/5, decent stat line. But you lose 1 mana next turn, but if the unit survives, you'll get 2, so technically just +1 on the first turn, then +2 on every subsequent turn. So if you play it on turn 3, your turn 4 you would have 5, and then turn 5 you would have 7, and then 6, 8, 7, 9. Well, as long as this thing is alive, obviously. Birthday Boy Christian. When played, draw a card and add a diamond to your hand. So, low stat line for 3 mana 2/2, but it basically is draw a card and add a diamond basically means you regain 1 of that mana. Yeah, balancing is weird, a lot of overlap. And my best thing is to just, Sonic Strike, kill a unit with 5 attack or more. Honestly, if this was Hearthstone rules, this would have cost 2. Bitcoin to the moon, another Elon Musk harness. 3 mana, gain 1 mana for every unit on your side of the field. So if you have full board, this is gain 4 mana at the cost. Spend 3 mana, gain 7, so overall 4. What is free long must is we gain 7 dope mouse head. Obviously, you do need board space if you want to play another unit, so if your board's full, well, yeah, you need to think about it. Blood Axe, 3 mana 2/2 weapon with lifesteal and anti-unit 1. Just trying to make people use weapons, honestly. Code Disruptor, 3 mana, apply -3 to a unit if it's make a math. Yeah, the hero version of Based on Me becomes a robot. Apply -6/6. Corruption Bomb is just a bomb head, but it with silence on if the enemy's still alive, and also engages in lanes. Oh yeah, even though there's 7 spots for units, the lane is also important. So you in Hearthstone 2, only 2 units on a board or next to each other. But in this game, you could put them to be on opposite ends of each other for later planning. Christian dropping in Vietnam, honestly a joke. Why did I make a joke about Christian in Vietnam? I don't know. Basically, gives stuff to all the Christians. Basically, the whole Teresa speaking, then anything that's not stealth wall is being burned by the U.S. military. Because I apply burning to all non it applies burning to all non-stealth, and if you're already saying Christian, I give you the effect of Cloak of Shadows from Hearthstone. Interesting card. Christian before he found Nuggy, joke from Champed Up. Just Christian before he found Nuggy to be his girlfriend. It's just a sign saying champion not found, and when the sign is dead, you find it. You find a Nuggy. You draw a card of the type Nuggy. Free. Basic attachment here. Dark Frost. Another category of things already talked about in the last episode. And 3 mana, free, and make the thing immune to freeze. That's kind of it. Darkling Gunner, because who needs? Because BTD jokes, why not? 3 mana, Defender, at the end of your turn, deal 2 damage to random minion. It's kind of different to a turret, but I'm an eye, very interesting thing. 3 mana, 0 free, and you can spend 1 mana to give 6 attack during your current turn. But it only happens once per turn. Also, I feel that I don't want to do live at home. Oh yeah, the Ball of Fate, I feel I talked about it enough. It's big stat line, but you can't really know if it's gonna pay out the way you want it. You could get anything from a 1/6 tank or 6/1 on the glass cannon or anything in between. Dungeon Adventure and the 3 mana 0/4 charge. Basically, this card can't really charge all that much, but you need, if you want to get the charge to be powerful, you need to do that. Also, you probably know about the whole Joe Candy keeps running into my dungeon fast, and one of the flavor text is literally saying, "Don't kill me from the place." Yeah. Dungeon Adventure Tuck on Death Center due to animate token. That's because in the basically the whole September and October, all he was doing was just posting at one. I don't know. Is it like an interchangeable anime? I don't. What the fuck am I doing sometimes? I don't even understand. Some jokes I don't understand sometimes. Electrical bomb head, the bomb head with 1 more damage, but you get a diamond back. So kinda expensive. That's why I added 1 extra damage to it. Energy Mecha on 3 mana free on death deals 3 damage to a random unit, which is already a bunch of stuff, but the fusion is give the unit plus only free health and the undeath effect, which is interesting, if I say so myself. If I got Russia, yeah, first Among Us, or just Among Us picture card. It's a 3 mana free with taunt, but if there's more than 2 enemies on the board, you can either choose death or death touch, but you lose taunt. So just act normal or a bit, you know. Okay, that's not a bag. Let me try that again. Fire Mine not be 3 mana 2/4, bring 2, yeah, just a bit more the Fire Miner, I guess. Flamethrower, 3 mana 2/4, rules of the turret, basically all this line, but the cool thing is that this turret damage also applies burning, so it's deal 2 and then 2 burning. French Wine, 3 mana, 3/4 when this takes damage, heal your player for 2. Would be useful if there was more cards that were buffed by healing, and there is some. I mean, this is a good thing to solve. So we didn't see a lot of play. Don't even think people thought of even using that thing. Yeah, Fusion Bomb Head, 3 mana for 2. A bit more protection on the Bomb Head, and this is one of those bomb cards that give the unit bubbled, aka Divine Shield, and plus 4 attack wall bubble. So basically, the unit is stuck inside the bomb. You do the unit's damage plus the bomb, and then the bomb is technically gone, but you can try to regain it with another bubble. It's a bit complicated. Gamer Penguin, your 3 mana 1/5, your hero power costs 1 less the first time you use it this turn, and the cost cannot go lower than 0. So no, you cannot do the dumb thing of your hero power costs 1 less an infinite amount of times. You play Demon Hunter, you do a 1-turn kill by just constantly refreshing your hero power. No, I'm not allowing that, and I don't have any interest right now in doing it. And also the reason why the picture is so bad, no matter what I did in Magic, the picture it doesn't want to do a good angle on this. I mean, it wasn't a good angle, but still. I think it was flipped 90 degrees. Yeah, the picture was flipped 90 degrees. It was normally penguin look on the right, but eh. Global learning. Get 6 books of from all the countries from episode 1 to your hand. There's not gonna be any duplicates. Since these things are not tokens, these things can actually be considered valid for the cog of the cycle crab, since this only says create 10 cards in your hand that are tokens. And since all the books of are not tokens and just common cards, well, this basically says complete more than half your quest. Complete half your quest for 3 mana. Complete half of a quest that makes all your cards 5 mana each draw a card, and have 6 1-mana spells in your hand. Honestly, I don't even. And I tried to make a document to try to showcase this interaction. Twitter deck for it. Grenade Head. More damage for bomb. Rather than just a bomb, it's a fucking grenade. 3 mana 7/1. It's ordinary, it's just a bomb. Gun wielding Kerbo. 3 mana 3/2, deal 3 damage randomly split between enemies. Pio, just what is my sense of humor sometimes? What is it? Like look at this. There's still so many cards in this thing. Imperial Pete has to Moscow. 3 mana 3/3. Uh, After this attacks the enemy hero, add a diamond to get reward to your hand. So basically just if you manage to hit your enemy, you get a diamond because you're basically attacking your enemy. Oh yeah, it was a phase where pretty much everything was just this. One of the jokes at TKO on Christian Survey was the, the X being some economical policy, Y being some person in the server, it's to Z being a location. That's the entire joke. So you could have like P communist name goes to Spain. I don't know. That wasn't that anyway. A free inverted penguin. If you would be sent, if this would be discarded from the hand or deck, 7 disc. So basically, the silverware golem, but it can also be happen if your hand's full. So that's cool. And the joke is do things wrong way. So yeah, this is one of the few cards that actually benefits from being discarded, since if you discard this, well, you just summon a free mana free for absolutely 0 mana. That's pretty cool. But honestly, I can't see why nobody's really into this card, because I think there's only the amount of cards that are valuable at being discarded. There's not a lot. You go digging some tickets when free mana free, shovel 2 tickets into your deck. Basically, you're just stealing part of the tickets from somewhere else. Honestly, I don't even know how we started on the joke that Keiko was doing necromancy. Probably started with Keiko's Screech and just Keiko doing some the weird Screech joke sound effect, and then oh yeah, it just extremify it. That's probably how it started. Giggle air horn, just 3 minute, give a unit free. Air horn noise. A killer wheel penguin, 3 minute 4/4, so a bit overstated, but if you roll, but at start of turn, roll a d6. If it lands on 1, this kind of attack this turn. Jesus, you know what? You know what? If this background is just gonna prove that Molly's in shit. Whatever. If you can hear it, well, okay. 3 mana free. Monster Penguin gains +1/+1 if a friendly penguin is summoned. There's a bunch of cards that summon multiple penguins at once, like you'll see later on Penguin Igloo and the Tiny Penguin Horde right there, which can make this thing absolutely big. But then that, it's kind of fine. Might receive a nerf if penguins are way too powerful. Magmatic Bomb Armor, free mana spell that makes all your bombs do the bubble, and they cannot die while bubble. They don't have their they don't die if they have bubble thing. So you can basically just use them again if the shield is still up. Math Bingo, 3 mana 2/3, destroy a unit with 2 attack or less. Honestly, the only problem with this card is if this could target 3, it would be a bit too powerful, but if it's 2, it's not that powerful, so I keep it there just to be sure. Math long, 3 mana, draw 2, it's just that simple. Metallic Chump, 3 mana, 2/2, kind of bad, but then it's like deal 2 damage to a unit and gain 2 armor, so I mean, with a 2 cost, that would be very powerful effect. Probably not. Either way, it's there. Middle Dakota, joke from guy created from Christian stream. Give your units +1/+1, but I felt that wasn't powerful enough and they wanted to put on 2 and wanted a Middle Dakota joke, so if it's the middle slot, you give an extra +1/+1. Minecraft armor gained 5 armor, but rather than draw a card like in Hearthstone, will take less damage until starting your next turn. Cool. Minecraft Education Edition. When this is live, hero powers are disabled. Can control shit in Education Edition because every time I see stuff in Education Edition, it's you found a lot of potential in that version, but a lot of stuff just can't be accessed for some reason. To about even Bedrock Edition. I don't know, it's a mess. Free mana, free, and this deals double damage to players who become a different hero this game. So this would be later on as free mana 6 free. Which, yeah, that sounds good. It's there. Not sure how I would personally use it in a deck, sadly. But if people can figure this one out, then. Basic weapon, 3 mana 1/6 of my pistols. Kinda underpowered because it's not that powerful unless you intentionally buff it with some of the 1-cost spells like the +2 damage or give a to your weapon or +1/1. Basically, this is a weapon that has a lot of potential and by scaling. Negative King being kicked out of his house. You go to Brazil until starting your next turn. Doesn't make you immune to all the spells, but your enemy unit can't really do anything unless they themselves are in Brazil. New Pyramid, 3 mana 4 free and taunt. Honestly, this card is I want to make a pyramid joke, can't figure it out. The closest thing is this unit's attack power is always 4. I don't know, just one of those hard card. Nuggy dropping to Brazil, 3 mana 4/4. Kinda powerful, what's the downside? Well, it starts in Brazil until you start 2 more turns. So the next turn you start still in Brazil, and then after that it's out of Brazil. So, but if everything's already in Brazil, well, this can already do its damage. Nuggy, so Nuggy, 3 mana, free, taunt. This game's +1 health when you play Nuggy. So you sounds like a good scaler, but there's not enough Nuggy to massively increase the amount of health. You could probably increase about like you could increase it by like 10 overall in the course of a game, but realistically, this is going to be, as far as I can see, it's around a free, the free attack 6 health probably. Penguin Golf Course. Fusion gained the stats of the original unit, aka this one, the golf course. Yeah, I don't know. Penguin Igloo, this thing got nerfed on the latest patch. No more when played effect because I realized the 3 mana 1/3 that keeps summoning 1/1 tokens every turn and at the start of every turn and on death is a bit powerful, so I had to remove the 1 plate so the first time penguin doesn't come out, but after that you constantly summon a 1/1 and also on death you summon another 1/1. So if this so the penguin, so if this is alive if you play a multiple penguin and then this unit on the same turn, well the penguin gets Macho gets +1, and if your every turn left unanswered is an extra +1/+1 plus the death effect, which is another +1/+1. Meaning that if your opponent doesn't take care on the first turn, on his first turn to take care of either the Magical Penguin or Penguin Igloo, and well, you're pretty much guaranteed to have a 6/6 or something like that. Yeah. Penguin Party shovel summon two 1/3 token penguins and shuffle a ticket in your deck. Because it's a party. Peamal Golf Course 3 mana 2/3, but same thing as the Penguin Golf Course, a bit less attack, but it's Peamal, then there's other things you can do with it. Beast Girlfriend, 3 mana 2/4, taunt, and you deal 2 more damage when attacking. So a bit low with stat line, but on attack against units, it's way worth it. Penguinosu, 3 mana, 1/2, gains +1/+1 every time you play a card. Basically, try to stock up on a lot of cards and then just go wild and make this thing super buff like the quest adventure from Hearthstone. 3 mana 3/3 on death, put a random card from your deck into your graveyard into your deck. And note that it doesn't go into the graveyard first. The random cards, it goes into the deck first. So no, you cannot constantly cycle with the bread. In theory. 1/2 turret, 3 mana 1/5. Gain 1 attack every time this gets damage. Honestly, very bad drawing. It's try to make it look like it's a blunt, just a shit robotic face with a thing to clean the toilet and the toilet paper. That's his entire joke. Portal of Royalty. I already talked about this quest reward in 1 cost, 0 and 1. Power Staff, 3 mana 1/4. When you attack, lower the cost of the highest cost card in your hand by 1. So very cool. Power Surge. Give all units +3 attack with Fortress. Hey, this isn't this sound like Bloodlust, but even more powerful, but well, you do realize that it gives also to the enemy units, so you need to play around that first. Pierce Embracer of Fate. Already talked about this quest reward in the first cost. Quantum Font, 3 mana, draw a card, then add the second copy to your hand. I think this is like a yeah, it's card. And joke is probably of quantum mechanics. I don't know here. Well, you're the bliss. This is the regressive cards. 3 mana, draw 5. Kind of busted. That's why I'm thinking of everything. The quest requirements. Real shit. Talked about it, but it's a 3 mana +2/+1 charge. But you lose the stealth immediately. Be careful of that. Scrabble Shuffle, discard your entire hand, draw 7 cards, and your turn. I mean, it's different from Plot Twist, which is put your hand into your deck and draw that many cards, because if there was only 1 card, well, you only draw 1 card. But this is just reset your hand to 7, Scrabble style. Scrabble Shuffle. Yeah, there's a bunch of shuffle jokes. Don't want to get any details. You're probably gonna get me demonetized. I don't know. Shrines. This whole section is 3 minutes, 0/4. When a thing happens, you get a card that you can hold infinite copies into a special hand that cannot be interacted in any way. So take damage, get the bleed burst, which is the 2 mana deal free. The card you get is not that powerful, but you could in theory take a lot of damage, so stack a lot of them. Round bombs, when you deal damage to a player with a weapon, you have equip. And the have equip part is required because you could just summon. Because in theory, you could summon all your weapons, you could summon a bunch of weapons, your opponent doesn't respond them in time, and you're gonna get a bunch of bomb heads. But that doesn't work. Chance of Shrine, when you play a card that randomly creates a card, so if you can't know what is the result, you'll get a stackable Disciple of Faith and know if the card that creates the stuff creates multiple cards, you only get one stackable device cycle of faith. It's based on the amount of times you play a card that creates randomly set amount of times you randomly create stuff. There's a difference. Shrine of Death. When a friendly non-shrine unit dies, add a stackable Book of Latin to your hand, which is get something out of your graveyard. 3 mana 0/3. When you discard a card, add a stackable discard portal entity to your special hand. So aka, if you discard a card while this is on the field, well, you add a 1 mana 3/3 to your hand, a part of your hand that cannot be discarded, so you can play for later. Shrine of Power. If you have any mana left at the end of the turn, lose 1 mana and add a stackable diamond to your special hand. So if you play this dry, this won't do anything on turn 3. But if you play it on turn 4 and you don't play anything else, well, you'll gain a mana later, but you only have a 0/4 on the board. So you need to work this out. Exception! 3 mana 3/3 controls cost 0 if control Nuggy. This card was a bit balanced because in theory, if you can mulligan the 20 boxes of chicken nuggets and discard them in your hand for turn 1, you could play the Nuggy and then Simpson for a total wait, what's in the box again? For 4 attack, 5 health worth of stuff on turn 1. Yeah. This card is like, I don't want this to remove the interaction with this card. It's just it's a big swing if you have it on the first turn. And I kinda hate that. Not saying that I hate it, it's just I hate to balance around the fact that this exists. There's a bunch of cards that the simple fact that they exist makes other cards' ideas really hard to make into a thing. Play them with a gun. 3 mana 1/5. If this didn't attack when it could, gain free attack. And no, this doesn't make this a 3 mana 4/5 on the end of your turn, because it can't attack on your first turn unless you give it rush or charge. But if you do that and don't attack, well, 3 mana 4/5. Instant card, and you can then, if you don't attack against, 7/5, and you can keep increasing this as long as it's on the board. 3 mana 6/1. This doesn't say bomb for a reason, but it should be a bomb. Sleeping landmine. Defender cannot attack, but there's a 50% chance that when you are attacked, this will attack the landmine instead and, blow up. Snowball turret. Turret rules, and you also freeze 3 mana 2/4. Wanted to have a winter hat just as a joke for a turret. I don't know, I kind of like the joke. I mean, Nizaki keeps doing the joke of Ice Monkey having hats. 3 mana, summon a movement token with Death Touch for each player. Honestly, if there was more incentive to do this type of stuff, this would be cool, but right now it's not that powerful, especially since you give just as much power to your opponent. But it's fun that counts on this joke. Selection Cup is shout on kill, game +2 attack, and trigger any when played or on death effects related to the unit. So this can scale on its own with kills, but you basically wanted to put this on cards that you want to trigger more effects on. Selection Cup Bomb, the equivalent of diffusion, bomb, but this is as an attachment, so you don't need to put the fusion bomb first. You can just put suction cup bomb later. You plan. Suction cup clave is yes, it also damages adjacent enemies and agents in planes. And you know that card like Thrasher? Well, you can basically turn anything into that card for free mana and give it one attack free health. Sonic Sign, very interesting gimmick that it's a powerful weapon. It's a 3 mana 4 attack free uses. The downside is you gain taunt yourself. I mean, if you can tank the damage and your other units don't have taunt, well, you can basically just build up your units and then at some point just switch your weapon to a different one in theory to remove the taunt on yourself and before you die and then just use all your stuff. TKO Tank. Choose to draw cards until you draw a unit or a spell. You cannot draw more than 4 cards to discard. If you play a deck that's only spells or only units minus discard, this could be in theory 3 mana draw 4. So if in theory this is just you do a deck with 30 spells and you say, hey, I'm going to draw cards until I draw a unit. Well, keep drawing cards until you draw 4 cards because there's no units to draw. Which, I mean, it's a more powerful effect than just Math Fong, but you need to build around it more. You can't, because in theory, if you don't really know what's in your deck, this could be a 3 mana draw 1, because I want to draw until I draw a unit, and you draw a unit on first go, or draw until you get a spell, and dispel also, or just draw 2, or draw 3, or draw 4. It's an interesting card. It could in theory backfire and be 3 mana draw 1 card, but it could also be 3 mana draw 4 cards. It's all about building around this card. TKO Toaster, 3 mana 2/5. When this is frozen, deal 1 damage to all other units. Toaster Bath. Yeah, that's enough said. Adventure Contact List. 3 mana, basic spell, add all 6 token adventurers in your deck and shuffle the decks. And just saying, those token adventurers count as units for the cog cycle crab, meaning in theory you could do an all spell deck, then play both contact lists, add 12 units to your deck, and then the cog cycle crab basically makes all the token adventurers into 5 mana 8 ace draw card. If you don't know what I'm talking about, well, we'll get that to the 5 cost episode. The Monk Hammer, kill a unit to receive a buff. So anything that played a spell on it to increase its stat, well, anything that increases its stats basically says kill this. 3 mana, 1/3, deal 3 more damage to enemies that aren't at full health. It doesn't. And just saying this thing. So basically, the 1 mana's bow thing, but more damage if you can do it right. Light Fortune. Give a unit +2/+1 lifelink. Yeah, that one Apiatus thing, and you can even reroll it because I don't know why I decided to make this a thing. It's kind of dumb. Penguin Duel, summon a free penguin token with rush for you and your opponent. This sounds bad for summoning a unit, but there is a card that that basically says that becomes more powerful and more angry each time a penguin dies during your side of the turn. During your turn, it's good to gimmick. Sign and insult to injury. Remember the sign from earlier, the Nungi sign, where the Christian before we found Nungi. Well, this is another joke, continuation of the joke, but this fusion. Diffusion will give the unit plus 3 attack and taunt and remove the defender that this thing has. So this line can't do anything, free mana free free. But this has, but if you combine it, free attack and taunt and remove the defender that's originally had it. Value bucket, 5 cards for the cost of free mana. Being a random ticket reward, a tiny penguin, which are both 0 costs, a random book of fate, which is the 1 cost books, Disciple of Fate, which is the 3 cost dice thing, and Token Adventurer, which obviously I talk to the 4 cost. Honestly, a lot of value, and it goes in that order. So if your hand's too full, well, you'll lose the later stuff like Disciple of Faith and Token Adventurer. So keep your hand clear. Honestly, this card sounds a bit broken, but I kind of like it, and it feels balanced. Jewel Giver, 3 mana, 2/3 when you summon a unit, give it +1/+2. So basically transform into the current stat line of that. And you can see that busted with hashtag ouch and other cards that with a bunch of 1 health units. Because they basically give +2 health and 1 attack. Unhappy Mauler, 3 mana, 2/3, attack hero 5. So a 2 mana. So a 2 mana unit, but attached with deal 5 extra damage to your opponent. That's cool. Make Baby Drown. 3 mana, 2/1, but you can replay this card as many times for 1 cost. And it has Wesh. So it takes, you cannot do this early, but after a while, yeah, you can just keep putting pressure. This is interesting card. Also, the flavor text could be literally 100 lines long of just quotes from my people in the dungeon complaining about some stuff. Like, oh, this thing, this, weak baby drowns constantly. He bite my ankles 7 at a time, or, you would two-shot me if I didn't heal or get any armor. Which exist. Subskeletons too tanky. Defleton speed broken. Actually, speed broken of Defleton is broken, but that's a topic. You know what? Let's try to finish this. Webcam Christian, 3 mana free. This can bypass taunt. I don't know why, but yeah. Weird Australian Tonk, 3 mana, draw 2 cards, but if they're units, flip their health and attack values. And there's a bunch of cards with high health but low attack that could basically make them glass cannons in an instant rather than tanks. Also, what the fuck? It's a sand. When played, if your opponent has 2 copies of the same unit, send one of them back to their deck. So yeah, if your opponent just keeps playing the same shit, well, send one of those back. Greatest joke, honestly. Also, yeah, one of the jokes is, yep, I've been divorced time, I don't know why. And sadly, your standard IKEA, fill all empty tiles with 0, 1 taunt, units with defender. And honestly, this is basically 3 mana summon 14 units. This would in theory be useful for the nuclear sniper rifle, but that's an idea that doesn't really make sense to me. I don't know, I hope this ranting makes sense. I don't know, what the freak am I 49 minutes, what the now I feel fine for splitting the 2 and 3 costs together. Jesus Christ, 102 cards makes... Recursion, woo. I guess I'm gonna try to stop it at 50 just for the memes. You know what, just like, subscribe, Or don't. I'm tired. Bye.